When 007 First Light was initially unveiled during PlayStation's State of Play in June 2025, I was beyond thrilled to see IO Interactive's latest development, especially as someone that's never played any of the Hitman games or watched any of the James Bond movies. But seriously, as someone that did earn the Platinum trophies for the first 3 Uncharted games back on the PS3, I knew I had to keep an eye on this game. And with it having been over 10 years since the last installment in the Nathan Drake-led adventures, that was the perfect time for this kind of Platinum trophy to come into existence. Shout out Lost Legacy though. It's a spin-off though technically, so my point still stands. When Baby Bond arrived on my PS5 digitally over the internet after I thoroughly debated pre-ordering it, it actually was not much of a debate, I was happily surprised to see not just elements of Uncharted, but Batman Arkham and unsurprisingly Hitman, based on what I do know about those games. Actually, come to think of it, I haven't even finished all the Arkham games yet. Look, I've seen I Am Rob tackle those Platinums. I'm not going there anytime soon, so don't hold your breath. I'll go into greater detail about what I mean later because I gotta start off by talking about the 38 trophies associated with 007. Fortunately, they all fit neatly into one of 4 categories: story related, combat related, collectible related, and taxum related. Taxum just being the online only mode, but I'll save those juicy ones for later because I know that all trophy hunters just despise online trophies, and I need to dangle some jingly internet connection based keys like that to keep y'all watching until the end. Make sure to like and subscribe if you feel personally attacked by that, or even if you don't, do it because it's free, and it'll let me know you want to see more of me talking about these kinds of things. Anyways, let's kick off with the story. This game focuses on James Bond's origin story. Starting off as a humble British man in a failed flying mission in Iceland, being recruited by the secretive MI6 organization in England, and accepting globetrotting missions across Slovakia, Mauritania, Vietnam, and more. Now, I don't want to spoil too much for those of you that are waiting for the game to go on sale, but there are 18 story-related trophies, so I do feel like I need to give a few thoughts. Firstly, this game does a great job building up characters into believable and likable figures. Bond himself is confident, reckless, and lucky enough to make it out of things that he definitely shouldn't be making it out of. Most of the people in MI6 are charming and unique, even to the point that when a mission goes horribly south, I find myself choked up for a minute. The reveal of the Murdo twins actually shocked me and threw my Patrick Star-sized brain for a loop. And the fact that tech billionaires trying to defend their broken AI models are the primary villains is just the cherry on top. It's all just a little too relevant in the best way possible for a game. After I beat the story, I had a realization that Balma's role wasn't nearly as much as I thought the story was heading, but with the reveal that Balma will return during Summer Game Fest and that there's a roadmap for additional story content coming soon, that removed some doubts I had about certain plots not being expanded upon enough in the main story. All in all, not my favorite story that I've ever heard, but a pretty darn good one, I'll definitely give it that. And if there is something better than the story, it's 100% the pre-order bonuses I got. I mean, just look at that. Shing, sparkle, sparkle. Actually, I honestly didn't even notice them during my playthrough, as the feeling this game's combat gives you is easily peak and well worth the price of admission. I will stand on the hill that cosmetics don't make a game fun. The mechanics do. Hot take, I know. I know this game isn't the first to be inspired by Batman's free-flow combat system, but this has got to be one of the best iterations of it that I've played. The punches are brain-tickling, the counters are easy to read yet tough to execute, the gunplay is rewarding, the use of gadgets and on-your-feet thinking required is just amazing. Come to think of it, I'm surprised I didn't say watch those wrist rockets more. That's beside the point though, as you can go into an encounter with no gun, no money, no lady friend, no job, and still sneak up on an enemy, put him to sleep, take his pistol with only half a mag, dispose of 2 idiots with well-placed headshots, whiff the last bullet, only to throw the gun at the enemy's forehead, giving you the opportunity to run up to him, grab him, and plow him into a fire extinguisher, turning him into a ragdoll and clearing the room. It's amazing. And the 9 trophies really get you to try stuff. A few will come naturally, like disarming an enemy by shooting a weapon out of their hand, or stopping a guy throwing a grenade, using a handy-dandy laser, or even pushing an unaware bot over a ledge. The only 2 combat trophies I really had to think about were for hacking a grenade and using a gadget to escape a confrontation, which I would typically buff my way out of before crossing the boar's hole and taking him down in one swift move. Again, this game gives you a lot of freedom and tools to mix things up and have some fun that is, without a doubt, best experienced by just simply playing the game yourself. Just to quickly blend story and action sequences, the set pieces in this game are stunning. Very Uncharted 3 coded, and I love them. So many fun moments that I'm excited to play again once the new Game Plus mode comes out. I'll just also add my 2 cents that the boss fights in this game are not my favorites, but I think that's more so due to the nature of stealth-focused action games. Like, there's only so many formulas you can use for this kind of game, and they did well with what they put together. I just didn't have a ton of fun playing hide and seek with slow-moving idiots that I can definitely just punch in the face in any other circumstances. But no, I need to crouch walk in the shadows and drop chandeliers on bosses and do the worst thing you can do to gamers. Turn on the lights. It's kind of similar to how people complain about having to take an elevator in a Sonic game. The game's about going fast. Why should I stand still? That's what they say. I don't say that because I just enjoyed Sonic games, you know what I'm saying? But similar concept here. It's just such different tone and pacing, but I also can't say I know how to make it really any better. It's like a necessary evil for any game in this genre, but that's just a little critique. I totally didn't struggle with any of the bosses and will happily pivot. Now, I'm actually going to switch up the list real quick because after completing the story and much of the combat stuff, I turned my attention to the 4 tax sim trophies. Hold on to your jimmies for these ones because they're a doozy. You ready? Get a load of this. The 4 trophies. 1. Complete an operation, aka a singular big mission. 2. Complete an escalation, aka a singular little mission. 3. Achieve clearance level 3, aka just play a few missions. And 4. Beat tier 3 of an escalation, aka complete a series of little missions. It took me a grand total of, wait for it, 23 minutes to pop those 4 trophies. Just absolutely devastating. But all jokes aside, the tactical simulation is actually a super cool feature / mode that really challenges you to learn the mechanics and get good at them through practice. It's just the gameplay unattached from the story because it's essentially just a VR, AR room set as a side quest in the story. And you get to play dress up with Bond. Need I say more? If I had more free time, I put so much time into this, trying to max my leaderboard positions and get creative with certain scenarios. Unfortunately, there's really only one downside, I guess, and it's that this is an online only mode and the IOI servers were not exactly the most stable when I played. I think I disconnected once a day at least, but only after 2-ish hours in game. The mode is really fun though, and I'm excited to see what else they cook up there. Pivoting back over to the campaign, the main cleanup I had to do was for the 6 collectible related trophies. Throughout the game, just over 90 postcards and my 6 files of mementos, playing cards, and legacy items are scattered in random locations. Nice for some lore and throwback references, but after about 2 hours of it in a game crash, which I think I suffered less than 3 of in the entirety of my playtime, I wanted to drive my car off a bridge. In-game, of course. Actually, I'd be curious to see if the game would let you do that. Fortunately, the chapter select feature is super forgiving and spawns you in front of a lot of the collectibles, but even then, I'd much rather just play the game, you know? Praise the Lord, it only took me an additional 4 or 5 hours to find everything and unlock the Platinum Trophy, putting my total playtime at 20 hours. You do the math on how long it took me to complete the story. I know you're smart enough to do basic math. Hopefully. You nerd. Do I have any final thoughts? Firstly, shout out to Power Picks. I totally did not depend on your guide to wrap up this trophy journey. Secondly, I've been actively recommending this game to all my colleagues at work, and I will do the same for you, my lovely full video watchers. This is a game that interests you for any reason. You need to play this game. This is easily a Game of the Year contender for me. I know 2026 is going to be a stacked year for gaming, but trust me, this game is going to be a winner for some people. Let me know your thoughts on the game in the comments, and feel free to like and subscribe if you want to see me make more of these Platinum review type videos. I've got a feeling this is more my style than like the typical Platinum Journey videos that every Platinum Trophy hunter on YouTube makes. Shout out to them. But this is more the type of video I like watching and making, personally. Okay, yap sash over. You are loved, and I appreciate you. If you're down, YouTube thinks you'd really enjoy watching this video next. And I'm not biased at all, but I'd probably agree with that. I hope to see you over there or back here again soon. Peace.